to tell you all about the exciting story of Catalyst in Victoria. Over to you, James. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucy. I think we're just recovering the...
He gave silver and took the pointer. There we go.
Thank you, Lucy. It's a pleasure to be here. Unfortunately, we're not going to be giving out any gold, but we will be talking to you about Catalyst Metals. My name is James de Crespigny, and thank you for making the time to come and hear about Catalyst's got two core projects. It's got a prized land holding north of the Bendigo goldfields. Our strategy is aimed around finding extensions to the Bendigo goldfields undercover. We've got down in Tasmania the Henty Gold Mine, where we are aggressively looking to increase inventory and production. We've got a market capitalisation about $150 million and $23 million cash. We've got an interesting shareholder register, meaningful ownership from management and the board. St Barbara and Hancock also hold a substantial position. Interestingly, Agnico Eagle also hold a small interest after coming into our recent raising. So we think that's of interest, I suppose, from a corporate perspective, but also adding credibility as to what we're trying to do. In Bendigo, we've got the most advanced exploration project near the Bendigo goldfields, but also the now rather well-known Fosterville gold mine. We've got a dominant contiguous land package there with two key projects, the Four Eagles and Tandara joint ventures. Bendigo goldfields, as many of you would know, was an extraordinarily rich goldfield. It not only produced 20 million ounces of gold, but it did it in a highly concentrated area. This extreme concentration at such high grades has few comparisons globally. A Bendigo-style deposit is formed by mineralised fluids pushing up from depth. We think this depth extension is important. The Bendigo-style mineralisation had replications at depth. We're seeing that at our flagship project at Four Eagles and Boyd's Dam in the picture you can see there down the bottom. Four Eagles, our flagship project, it is a 50-50 joint venture with Hancock Prospecting. It comprises 5 prospects, but interestingly for us are these intercepts out in the periphery there. 3 metres at 59 grams and 9 metres at 2 grams. I think what this is telling us is that typical Bendigo-style mineralisation, high-grade, closely concentrated areas in close proximity to one another. Boyd's Dam, where we've had most of our success, is our most advanced project. Our investors have seen value here with intercepts such as 8 metres at 200 grams, 25 metres at 16 grams and 5 metres at 28 grams. Importantly for this catalyst, this mineralisation is relatively near to surface, about 100 to 140 metres. Four Eagles tunnel, exploration tunnel, is really being considered by Catalyst as the mineralisation lies underneath the Murray Basin sediments. Accessing it from surface isn't straightforward. It is contained to within November to May each year. By putting in an exploration tunnel, we're able to get closer to the ore body and we're able to target those exploration targets I mentioned earlier. We've set out a plan to do that. We're undertaking a study. We're looking at a 3-kilometre tunnel and a 40-kilometre drill program off the back of that. The tunnel will run beneath the sediments and along parallel to existing mineralisation and those key target areas. Our current estimates anticipate that we'd be able to commence earthworks in the spring of 2023. So while Four Eagles is our focus, there are other areas in our portfolio that are worth raising with you. The Tandara Project, which lies immediately south of Four Eagles, we've also had some success at. It sits 10 kilometres south of Four Eagles, and we've had some success, 9 metres at 14 grams and 13 metres at 7 grams. Recently, however, and we announced this not too long ago, we had an intercept of 12 metres at 33 grams on another prospect. More broadly, up at Bort there in the top left corner of that plan view, we've had further success. We conducted our first exploration campaign there this season, and we struck 3 metres at 18 grams. The reason that we're raising this with you and the message that we're trying to send here is north of the Bendigo goldfields, we're looking for Bendigo-style mineralisation. We've had success at Four Eagles. We've shown some success there at Tandara, but also more broadly at Bort, similar, again, styles of mineralisation, and this tight, close concentration of high grades is what we're looking for to be able to try and replicate Bendigo-style mineralisation undercover. So in summary, at Bendigo, we're focused at Four Eagles. We're looking to put out a resource this year. We believe that resource will likely comprise of multiple distinct resources in close proximity to one another. Commencement of exploration tunnel is targeted in the spring of next year. An exploration tunnel will obviously provide access for potential future production. Now down to Tasmania and the Henty Gold Mine. We acquired this in January 2021. Since then, we've felt it's important to build a foundation upon which we can then launch our investment strategy. We've installed a new team, implemented a new incentive scheme. We've increased underground development rates by 100% or doubling those, and we've increased the underground drill rates by about 400%. We've paid back all acquisition trailing payment related costs, and we've delineated several new exciting advanced exploration targets. So why did we acquire Henty? It's our view that Henty has the foundations to be a low-cost producer. Shown in this figure here are the historical deposits that were mined from 96 to today. In this bottom right-hand box here, we've got the historical grades and widths. Darwin, one of the more attractive deposits, was just south of just under 9 grams per tonne and produced 650,000 ounces. Importantly, it did that at an average width of 8 metres. By any standard today, looking across anywhere in the world, that is an attractive deposit. So we believe we've got the right rocks. We believe we've got the right mining widths in order to carry out low cost, and then when you put that with the low hydropower costs of Tasmania, 6 cents a kilowatt hour, a drive-in, drive-out workforce, leveraging the existing infrastructure that's there, we believe it has the foundations to be a low-cost producer. So where are we exploring in the 2023? There are 3 areas that we just wanted to highlight to you today that we're going to be exploring over the course of this year. To the south, at the bottom left of the screen, is Darwin Extensions. As I mentioned before, a very attractive deposit. That remains open with limited drilling. The cradle zone here I'll talk more about shortly, but very limited drilling for various reasons. And the collar zone up to the north, which is well known for its rather high grades. Just to talk about 2 of those, the Darwin Extensions really is a large exploration target. Historically, Darwin produced just under 650,000 ounces at 8.6 grams, and it averaged an 8 metre wide mining width. It does remain open at depth, and there's limited drilling below that current resource. We recently released some interesting results: 7 metres at 12 grams, 6 metres at 32 grams, 6 metres at 19 grams, etc. We can't currently drill that to the angle that we'd like, and so a development drive is planned for this year so that we can appropriately access that ore body. In the cradle zone, due to the ore body's geometry here, this wasn't drilled by predecessors. What you're looking there on screen is all the holes that have been drilled into this area prior to Catalyst's ownership. The dots that we've got there, particularly on the right-hand side, are holes that have been drilled, and the call-outs are holes that have been drilled since Catalyst took ownership some 15 months ago. Why we think this is interesting: 4.5 metres at 3.8 grams and very reasonably high silver content, 2 metres at 18 grams with 177 grams silver. That silver content isn't seen elsewhere in the Henty deposit. So we acknowledge that production at Henty is not where we'd like it to be as yet. Exploration is our focus. On the operational side, we're working with our team to increase that mining inventory to then subsequently drive production. That production will be driven by increased production rates. That increased production rate will be driven by increased development rates and increased drilling. So in summary for Catalyst, we're focusing on Four Eagles and completing a resource that we'll release later this year. We're completing the studies and the permits and approvals that will require us to go underground on an exploration tunnel. Production and inventory growth at Henty, and I've turned myself off, and importantly believing that we need to build a portfolio of assets. We believe in an organic and inorganic growth strategy, and so with those two we hope to look outwardly and inwardly to build Catalyst. Thank you.
Thank you.